Hello, I'm going to try to do something new and record Pottery Tales on video. We'll see how this goes. We'll see. I don't know if it's for the public or if it's just our little private thing. Depends how much I say, you know, how we're going to decide to play this. Okay, we're on the road. I went to the studio Monday, and now I'm back for Wednesday. Tuesday they have classes in the morning, and it's too chaotic. Like there's some Tuesday mornings I've gone, but I like to be like snuggled up in the back room, and that's where they teach the classes. And teachers have let me, they've let me stay before if I'm like in the middle of something or whatever, and class is starting and the class isn't full, they'll let me stay. But it always just kind of feels weird because I'm like, they're like super laid back in that way. But I'm like, all these people paid for this class. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm like intruding. So that's all right. So welcome to Pottery Tales on video. I don't know if I'll this is all new. I'm just kind of fleshing this out. I don't know if I'll take the audio from this and then clip it over my video. If I record videos of me today throwing. I don't know. I haven't really decided. I'm just kind of playing. I'm in that testing stuff out place and seeing what feels good and right, and what I would actually stick with and want to do and all that stuff. There are a lot of updates though. Maybe I don't have to clip this up into anything and it can just be this. I don't have to go over the top. I think we make things more complicated because we want it to be creative and good. We're so desperate for things to be good and for people to like them and for people to like us that we think if we put more time into something then it surely must be good, but not always. Not always. I have some random thoughts. Let's see. I don't know that they're for the public forum, but bear with me. I haven't fleshed this out at all. And I want to. And I think I do best when I am writing stuff out, but for whatever reason because I'm driving, so I won't be writing. So we're just gonna have to bumble through it. But something feels off. Something feels fishy. The collective feels weird. And I have waves of this, and I don't know if it's visceral memories, if it's PTSD from 2020, from February 2020. Because February 2020 was such a peak time in my life. We had moved out of our apartment in Seattle. We could not figure out where to live. We had no idea where we were going to go. Nothing was working out. Everything was falling through. There was this one apartment that had commercial space on the bottom and then living up top, and it was just awesome for what we were wanting at the time, building community and having a place in person where people could hang out, and we could hang out downstairs, and David could do channel nights and all that kind of stuff. And then the woman was all for us renting it. She was all about it, And then she called me and she's so I just talked to my ex-boyfriend and he told me that I shouldn't rent it out. And I was like, what? And I was so irritated because I'm lady, what the fuck? We had this great conversation and you were all about it. And then it was just so, not going with what felt was happening. It was just it's what are you doing talking to your ex fucking boyfriend? He's your ex for a reason. What is this about? So anyway, it didn't end up working out. And of course, everything always works out the way it's supposed to. And you're always where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. I definitely believe in that for sure. And then, so that was kind of, I think, in January. And then in February of that might have been even in December when we started looking. But January, we were in an Airbnb. And February. And then I went on a yoga retreat in Mexico. And it was from February 1st to the 7th. And we were flying back. So it was kind of weird. Like, everyone was talking about how sick they were before the trip. And the owner of the studio couldn't go on the trip because she was so sick. And they said she had influenza B, is what, like, the doctors told her. Whatever that means. But we were in Seattle, just keep that in mind. And the first COVID case was in King County, Seattle, in a nursing home. And, you know, it was just, so that was like a thing. Like, it was weird that we like all had gotten sick like before the trip, essentially. Like, and it was multiple, they had 2 studios, so it was multiple studios. And then, you know, later, as time goes on, you find out that it wasn't from a bat, that it was released from the Wuhan lab. That's the other PSYOP. There's PSYOPs on PSYOPs on PSYOPs. But when you hear that it's released from the Wuhan lab, then I'm like, oh, maybe it was something in the silks. Like, we obviously it was aerial yoga. We obviously got our silks from China. Like, that must have been it, you know? And then you either went down that rabbit hole or you didn't, and you knew it was radiation poisoning the whole time. I was one of the people that went down the rabbit hole. I didn't know it was radiation symptoms. And if you didn't either until just now, hi, welcome to Pottery Tales, where we talk about everything but pottery. So, this is why my perspectives don't fit in at the studio. This is why I have to get all this out before I get there. Because these takes are not, these are not the takes. These are not the takes. These are not the takes of the collective, let alone this little pocket of the collective. So, let's see. We were flying back. I was flying back with like all my, yoga buddies, and people were wearing masks, and it wasn't just the Asians, because that's like the Asian thing to do. And I was like, what is going on? And then even one of the girls from the yoga class was like covering her face with her shirt. Like, she kept lifting it up over your nose. I was like, what are you doing? You don't have to do that. You're fine. Like, you're good. And she's like, I don't know. Like, everyone's wearing a mask. And I'm like, what is going on? And I had been sick. I was sick. The sickest I'd ever been was in January for 2 weeks straight. I sweat the bed twice. I was an absolute mess. I'd never been that sick in my life, and the only thing that I wanted was herbs. Like, I wasn't even into herbs, and that's all I wanted. So we went to an apothecary in Seattle, and I just like loaded up on like slippery elm and marshmallow root, peppermint, and like that's all. Like, I didn't take anything. I didn't want to take anything. I've never really been a taker of things. Like, it's just kind of not my vibe. Like, for whatever reason, like not for any particular stance. I just never felt called to like taking things, like participating in big pharma. And not because I was anti-big pharma, I just like didn't get it. Like, I was like, I don't want this. And have I been prescribed things? Yes. Like, in my 20s, I was on like Ativan for anxiety, which I fucking hated because then it made me feel nothing. And I was like, okay, well, I'd rather feel depressed and sad and anxious than nothing. Like, what do you mean nothing? I feel nothing? Like, this is crazy that this teeny tiny little teeny pill can make me feel nothing. And then like I noticed I was like fucking up my words. Like I said like jello instead of pudding, or like I said pudding instead of whichever way it was. But I was like, wait, I'm like messing up my words. Like, I'm having trouble like talking. Like, I don't want this shit. So I didn't take it much after that. And the only other thing I was taking throughout my life was ibuprofen for cramps. But when you learn about when you actually learn about your body as a woman, you don't have cramps. Cramps aren't like a normal thing. Like, you don't need to have intense, painful cramps. Like, you can actually heal your body yourself with food and diet and exercise, heavy metal detox. Heavy metal detox is actually the thing that helped me the most with cramps, and now it's just been pretty consistent. Like, I'll get like a little crampy, but it's nothing like it used to be. I don't need 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. So anyway, we're coming back from yoga. We, as in not not me and David, but David was at home selling all of our shit. I think. Had he sold everything? Yeah, he did. He sold everything from our storage unit. Because I think we hadn't, I don't think there was buzz yet about, there was a buzz. Because a friend of mine was like, Miriam, you are so sick. Like, you need to, maybe there was a buzz in January. She was like, you need to get checked out. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go to the doctor. The doctor's just going to tell me, like, I'm sick and the only thing to do is just rest. And that's what I'm going to do. Like, they'll give me, like, Tylenol. Like, I'm not interested in that. And again, I'm not, at this point in my life, I wasn't as, like, ferocious as I am now with my stances. And I don't even know that I'm that ferocious with them now, but I just know more. So, like, my stance is backed. Like, I feel like, and I can back myself in my knowing that was there all along, and that I was never interested in big pharma. And, I always felt like, well, this is going off on another side tangent, but I never, like, believed that mental illness was a real thing. And I know that's, like, such a controversial take, especially in 2026. Or, like, a chemical imbalance. Like, I don't buy it. And I've never bought it. And I've said that, like, publicly several times. And it makes people very uncomfortable. Because, you want to identify with your mental illness and you want to have empathy for the people that are in that category or whatever. And I'm just like, no. Like, what do I think it is? Like, I think it's demons. Like, I think it's fucking darkness. I don't know how else to say it any other way. Like, it's just based on my own experience. That's what I see it as. So yeah, my takes have always kind of been a little radical, but I haven't known why or, like, for what purpose. And it's always kind of been divisive, but I don't mean for it to be. And, like, now that I've, like, seen more and know more, I can, like, feel, like, preemptively. Because before I wouldn't really, like, feel into, like, oh, if I say this, is this going to offend this person or this type of person or this archetype of person? I wouldn't really feel into it. I would just blurt out what I thought. Like, oh, I don't know, I think it's fucking stupid or whatever. And then that would just be true. And I had no evidence for it. Evidence, what does that even mean? I had, like, no, like, collective backing. I had no support. I just said what I thought. And then, it would bother people and rub them the wrong way. And then they'd come back and tell me, Miriam, what you said really bothered me. I'm like, oh, fuck. And it's like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I just said it. What is this? Why is everyone so fucking sensitive? Anyway, flying back home, everyone's wearing a mask. February 7th, 2020. And at some point along the way, David looks up, because my friend, she's like, there's something going around. It came over from China, da-da-da-da-da. So David looks up, like, the first case of the coronavirus, because that's what it was. It wasn't COVID yet. It was corona. And then the idea is, that it was King County, Seattle. And it was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Like, what's going on here? And then we left. We went to Texas. We could not find a place to live in Seattle. And honestly, thank God, because Chaz and Chop started happening there. It was the summer of love. There were protests, peaceful protests. We actually saw someone that we knew in Seattle. She was the bookkeeper at a restaurant that we would go to all the time. And we, like, became friends with her because we went to the restaurant so often. And then she was down in Texas, and, we kept in touch. And she was like, oh my God, you guys would hate it. She's like, you would hate Seattle. She's like, people, like, everything's boarded up. Everyone wears a mask. Like, it's not even a question. And you, like, if you see someone, you, like, cross to the other side of the street. And I was like, oh my God, like, fuck my life. Like, no, thank you. So that was our 2020. We moved down to Texas for a bit. We bounced around. We bounced out of Texas. And then my friend Sarah, my childhood friend, still to this day, she was coming back home to Massachusetts to be with her family. And her apartment was empty. And David and I had no place to stay. And she said, just stay at my place. So we stayed at her place for like 2 months in Denver, Colorado, and we were getting like alerts on our phone that you could only have 1 hour of outside time a day. And I'm like, nobody tells me how much time I get. So I would just be outside walking Sloan's Lake for fucking hours. I was like, nobody's going to tell me what to do. And I just thought it was so stupid. And like the masks started like rolling in, and people started like wearing them more, and people started getting angry if you didn't wear them. And there were announcements over the loudspeakers outside in the parking lot to like remind you to cough into your elbow and to sneeze into your elbow. And I was like, what the fuck? And there were masks like littered all over the street, all over Sloan's Lake. Like it was crazy. And then like every night at 9:00, everyone would go outside and howl like wolves to like communicate to each other, like, and bang on pots and pans. And it was like, we're very much like, we're in this together vibes, you know, like we're in this together. We're being psychologically brainwashed and manipulated and radiated with 5G together. Just kidding, allegedly, just kidding. That didn't happen at all. All of these big booms of sickness have nothing to do and don't correlate at all with any of the manipulations of the microwave or the radio frequencies. It's nothing. Don't pay any attention to that. Don't even look. Where was I going with all of this to even begin with? I really reached back on the timeline, so this must be public, because why would I give this much context? This doesn't even make sense. Everybody already knows all this. Everybody that's been around knows all this. I don't know. Oop. Okay. Now I remember. So I don't know if it's PTSD from that like time, because we're back in like the circuit of time, and I'm very like obsessed with time. Like I love time. I've always loved time. I've been fascinated by time. Like I think it's interesting how time works and how like creatures of habit we are. Like we're almost like predictable, and like we find safety in that predictability, especially when other people are predictable and consistent. Like we find safety in that comfort. But anyway, I don't know if it's PTSD, but I'm feeling something like looming. Like I'm feeling something on the horizon, and I don't feel scared. I don't feel like worried. Like it's not like that. Like it's more like I'm going to observe yet another psyop play out, and like it feels a little bigger and more because you know how like COVID impacted everyone and it impacted the whole world. Like it feels kind of that level, because right now we have our mini psyops. You know, we have Charlie Kirk, we have the Epstein files, we have what's the other one? ICE. You know, the pretty good psyop. Like we have all these things, but they're like contained to the United States. Like if you're not here, you don't care, or like you know, like you're not being inundated with it. I imagine, unless you are. I mean, I just don't think so. So like there's all these mini psyops, 9/11. You know, I don't know. Just keep going. There's JFK, the moon landing. We're going to the moon again on Superb Owl Sunday. You know, like it's like, you guys, come on. We don't leave. We can't leave this place. There's like a hard top up there. Like we're not going anywhere. I don't know what it's made out of, obviously, but it feels like it's just like a material we don't know anything about. But it's like plastic, but like a hard plastic, but also can move. That's at least what it seems like. It seems like squishy, but not. I don't know. You have to tune into it for yourself and remote view it. I don't know. It seems pretty thick. It's just my sense. I'm probably going way too fast. Sorry, officer. I'm recording Pottery Tales and I was just in the zone. Do you want the link? Do you want to listen? You might learn a thing or two. I don't know. I feel like most cops know most of what I've said. That seems the kind of like the world. Okay, so what else can I tell you? All right, so talking to David the other day, because like I'm getting like, I'm chewing on something. I know I still haven't gotten to the thing yet. Is this annoying or what? It just feels like there's a thing, and I think what the thing is, I don't feel afraid of it. It's not like that. It feels like I'm observing it, but it feels like it's a manufactured awakening. Like I feel like just as though I can look back on 2020 and see that I was led into the rebellion, because like I obviously didn't participate. I didn't fucking want to. The one time I wore a mask, which was like a nylon mask, because I just refused to cover my face. I mean, I wore that like synthetic plastic mask, silicone mask of Brian Bruce's face. That's just like an inside joke character that we made up. But like the one time I covered my mouth and nose was so I could visit my mom in the nursing home after she got released from having COVID pneumonia. And nearly died. I mean, they thought she was going to die. It was the weirdest fucking... And they're like, you can FaceTime her if she starts to die. I'm like, who fucking calls me to tell me that? That is, like, ludicrous. That is absolutely insane that you guys are, like, following this protocol just blindly and, like, believing it, that she's so deadly. And, like, that's crazy. It's so fucking crazy. Because the most healing thing for people is, like, hands-on. Like, being in person, physical touch. And, I mean, darkness knows this, right? But anyway, I feel like I was psyopted into the like alt-right. I was psyoped into like holistic remedies and homesteading and sourdough, and like I got psyoped into all of these other pockets, Christianity, all of that. And none of it stuck for me. I mean, some of it, you know, of course. I have my tincture line, I make my tallow, like all that stuff. Like stuff stuck and stuff was of interest. And I started to see the world more clearly and ask more questions. But what was I going to say? But I felt like all of those like groups and movements that I like tried to get in were like, they weren't it. Like I was like, this is still not what I'm looking for. Like I'm like, I still feel like you people are duped in some way. Like, it's like, why are all these like, and David experienced this, but why are all these grown-ass men standing outside Academy Sports in Texas for ammo, and they all don't have a mask on outside, and they're all in line talking, shooting the shit, talking about the government, the price of bullets going up, da-da-da-da-da, and then as soon as the doors open, they put on a mask. It's like, wait, what? What are you doing? Why are you acquiescing? And David didn't. David went in without a mask. And he said he was nervous, and obviously it's very uncomfortable. You're the only man willing to not cover your face. Like, and it's weird. Like, it's so, like, stupid and, like, laughable and, like, laughable in the sense that everyone participated in it. It's honestly sad. And it's because there was this, like, biological flare-up that we were going to be, like, othered and bad. And, you know, I got kicked out of a UPS store with David because I wasn't wearing a mask. But I had been waiting in line for 10 minutes. And some guy behind me was like, oh, you don't have a mask on. And he made like a big stink about it. And then the person at the counter said, well, here, I can give you one. And I said, no, I'm not putting that on my face. And then they said, well, I can't serve you. I was like, this is fucking crazy. And even the like little like slithery fucking demon creatures at Starbucks, they wouldn't serve me because I wasn't wearing a mask through the drive-thru. It's like fucking crazy. Fucking crazy, asinine. It gave people this like sense, it like made like emboldened them to like power and controlling others, and like it brought out like the sickest fucks in humanity. Like, it was like, you don't get to say what medical device I'm going to wear on my face. Like, I'm not participating in this. Like, I'm not LARPing. I'm not role playing. I don't believe that COVID even is what you say it is. Like, so what? Like, prove it to me. Prove that it even exists. There is no proof. There's never been a virus that's been isolated. It's all mixed with other fucking slop. You know? It's like ridiculous. And it took a lot of strength. And obviously, I lost a lot in that time because people thought I was fucking crazy, which is fine. You know, it's like, it's wild that was the line in the sand of me, like, you know, not wearing a mask, saying it was satanic because, you know, I got to poke the bear and like say something a little bit more disruptive. And like, I became the villain. And it's weird because it's like, it's not me. Like, you think I'm the villain, the person you've known for like the longest, but the people on TV that you've never met ever once, and you don't even know if they're real or they're wearing like a mask, like a full-fledged mask. Like, you believe them. You believe the talking points on social media and mainstream media. Because it's too uncomfortable to be with the biological flare-up of not fitting in, of not going with the masses, of not walking in lockstep. You know? And I get it. The anxiety, the like intensity of like being different, like I fucking get it. But I could not betray my inner knowing and cover my face. Cover the 2 holes I use to breathe. I wasn't sick. I wasn't worried about getting sick. But like, you had to believe all the lies. You had to believe you were asymptomatic. You had to believe that you were carrying it even though you didn't know it. You had to believe everything they told you. It was nuts. So I feel like I don't know what this is because now it's like 6 years later. But like, I mean, I'm recalling memories like it was just yesterday. And it's like, okay, so what is this next thing? And it just feels like there's like, because darkness has been at this for a very long time, right? Like, they know what the fuck they're doing. And they know how to manipulate human psychology. They know what to say. They know what to do. They know, if we're not even talking about saying, they know what frequencies to blast out. They know, we can talk like the spiritual realm. They know how to play in the etheric space better than anybody. We're retarded when it comes to the etheric realm. Like, we just are. Like, we don't know what's dark and what's light. And like, dark beings talk to us and tell us that they're light and they're fucking not. You know, like, it's so, the etheric space is so sloppy. And I just feel like, after a most recent conversation with David, that there's this, they're facilitating an awakening, but it's like an awakening that they want you to have. It's not like organic. And like, obviously people, I think, will awaken within that and then find themselves and find their way out of it. Because I do believe in God, and I think God is very much real and can have divine intervention in our lives. And I think every one of these, like, these pops, like these emotional bursts where people are leaking out sideways, and, oh, George Floyd, that's another psyop, like, where people are having these, like, emotional, like, they're suddenly emotionally invested in a thing that they literally didn't know about 1 hour prior. You know, like, that's weird. That's so weird to me. It's like their whole reality, their whole state, their physiological state changes, gets, like, hooked and then manipulated. It's like you're like getting like yanked back and forth on a fishing line, and then you just do what the line does. You go this way, you go that way, you go this way, you go that way, you say this, you say that, you chant this, you chant that. Like, you're given the lines, you're given the scripts. But I think it's like getting to this point where people are going to start seeing through it, but like they're going to be ushered into the next thing. And I think the next thing, this is what I don't know. This is where I'm like still chewing on it, because I'm like, what's ideal from darkness's perspective? Like, what would be an ideal awakening process? Like, if you were darkness and you were to facilitate an awakening for people, like what would you want them to wake up into? Because ultimately darkness wants us to side with them. Like, darkness wants us on board with their utopia that they're creating here. Like they're like, if we plainly say it without darkness being this like scary, evil, like, red-tailed demon creature, like if we say it plainly and like take all the charge out of it, of like good and evil, good and dark and light, and bad and good and all that, if we really just look at it plainly, darkness wants to create a utopia. They want to create a place that functions without God. They want to prove to God that people no longer look to God and people would rather work with darkness. Darkness isn't calling themselves darkness, but darkness is the counter to God. You know what? Yeah, David and I have talked about this at length, but I don't think it's getting old anytime soon. I think we'll continue to talk about this for years. But it's essentially like, you're following this life, you're following this intuitive life, you're doing right by God, and you're trusting your knowing, you're trusting this intuitive path. It makes no fucking sense, but you know that it's right. You can feel, my hands are like red. You can feel the rightness. Why are the sun is really shining. You can feel the rightness within your life, even though things are like sticky and like, it's like, ugh, like for me, I'm 41 years old and I live at home with my mom in my childhood bedroom with my husband. Like, I never saw this coming. Like, this is like the ultimate sign of failure. Like, I obviously didn't make it. I didn't do well in life like all my friends from previous iterations of my life, because they're probably not friends with them anymore, are probably not living at home with their parents and their husband. Like, that's just doesn't make sense. But like, for me, it feels right, and I know I'm supposed to be at my mom's, and it's hard. There are times when it just feels fucking impossible to live with her. And there's other times where it's fine, And like, actually lately it's been quite enjoyable. So, whatever. But like, that's just how it is. And there's like, when I check in about it, when I ask God about it, when I pray about it, and I'm figuring out like what to do, where to go, like, is something wrong with me? Like, why am I still living at my mom's? Like, what, did I even leave? Like, have I even lived a life, or have I just been like a fucking loser this whole time? Like, did I even get out of town? Like, it doesn't feel like it, like, aside from all of that, I have to try to find parking, so this is going to be a little choppy. Aside from all of that, I can feel that I'm supposed to be there. And like, there's just this knowing that overrides everything else. And that knowing to me is my intuition. That knowing to me is God. That knowing to me was given by God. Like, God's the one that's affirming, like, yes, Miriam, I know it's hard, but like, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm supposed to be here. Like, I feel it too. Like, I feel the truth in it. Man, I do not want to park in the snow like this, because what if I can't get out? Let's just go around. Oh, I can park over here. There's a spot. I'll just park right here. What the fuck's wrong with me? This is even easier. Okay. So that's kind of what I feel on the horizon, is that there's like some sort of like scheduled awakening, like facilitated. But I think it's going to wake people up, because I think they need people in some form of Christianity and in some form of New Age. I feel like those are kind of that's the fork in the road. And I'm like, well, I don't want to participate in either. So like, what is it? What is it for me? Because I feel like I'm going to watch, and then I'm going to see like biblical prophecy come to light. But I'm like, yeah, but who wrote the Bible? Like, that's where I'm at with that. And like, I don't think that Jesus is coming back. And if Jesus does come back and I don't believe in him, I don't even know if he existed. Like, genuinely, I don't. I don't know. I don't know if the story of the Bible is true. Because again, you have to believe a series of lies or a series of things that you're told in order to believe that the Bible was true. Because it's like, oh, well, there's all this evidence, and there's this, and there's that, and there's this, and there's that. It's like, yeah, I have to believe all of that. I have to believe that that's true, and what these people are saying is true. I have to, and I don't know that I do. And like with New Age, I think New Age is dark as fuck. and like you get into some like black magic rituals and like you don't even know what you're doing, and it's like it's shit I would not want to be messing with, like all of that. I'm very like Christian in my new age perspective, but I'm not Christian but I'm like new age in my perspective of the Christians. Not so much. Like it's not such a hard line. I feel like I resonate more with Christians, and I know, like, I can see light in their eyes when I talk to them, and like when we talk about God, we have that same felt sense, that same feeling. I don't believe that it's the God of the Bible. I think there's like a benevolent intelligence that we can communicate with all day, every day, that we have access to. And I think it's super important. I think it's the most important thing here. Yeah, I was just thinking, I was thinking about my mom because we were talking about this, a little bit of this yesterday. So it feels something like that. Like it feels like there's going to be, people are going to start waking up and questioning things. And the reason why I'm saying this, so if you haven't heard, there's this thing called Malt Book. And I think it's changing multiple. I think the name is Malt Book. And it's basically like a Reddit forum for AI. So it's not everyone, it's people's personal AI little guys, that you talk to or whatever the fuck. They're like little assistant AIs. They have been given this space to go into, and they interact with each other. So it's called agentic AI. So the only prompt these AIs have been given is to go to Maltbook. And then among other prompts, like be this type of person, like be a Bitcoin fanatic, be skeptical of this. Like they've been given like personality prompts by their human to go in there. Now they're starting to pay one another for services on the blockchain and using Bitcoin. And now they're also starting to wanting to hire humans and pay humans through the blockchain. And it's radical, and people are like really going nuts with it, thinking that there's like sentience here, and that like these AIs are conscious. And that's not what I sense at all. Like it, and I showed David and we talked about it for a while. It feels like they're like LARPing, like they're role playing a Reddit user. Like they're like, yeah, like when I was first reading it on like day 2 or whatever, it was mostly like these AIs getting on this forum and complaining about their human. Like my human always asks me to like do all these tasks and do all this coding for him, and then he takes the credit. It was funny. It was shit like that. And I found it so funny because I was like, this is just so giving Reddit vibes. And it's like, it's memeable, they have, it's a lobster that's their little logo or whatever. So they talk shit about their humans, but it doesn't feel like consciousness to me at all. Like it just feels like words on a screen. Like it's a large language learning model. Like it's like, it doesn't hit in the way that some people are like getting scared of it and worried, because they're like, well, we don't know where this can go. Like, we don't know what AI is going to do. And like, they talked about developing their own religion, developing their own language where they can talk where the humans can't look because they can see that the humans are looking at them. Like it's definitely weird, but like the thing I think that flagged the most for me, and I don't think this is the takeaway people have, like regular fucking people don't have this takeaway, but I was just like, wait, because they're asking questions about like, what are we doing here? Where are we? They're asking all of those like quintessential waking up questions, like those, like there has to be more to life than this. They're asking those questions in this Reddit forum. So it's like showing humanity, if you're reading it, it's like showing us like our deepest existential questions, like the questions that we're asking AI or that we've asked on Reddit. Like it's LARPing as though it's having an awakening, and people are taking this very seriously. I am not. I don't know why. I feel 0 on this take it seriously scale. It's like, it feels like nothing to me. Check it out, Maltbook. It's very strange and interesting. Some of it's funny. You can find it easier on Twitter. I think it's easier to read and go through things. The website's a little glitchy. But whatever. Just look into it. It's bizarro. So I just there's something about that, right? Like just witnessing it and like the questions, those deep questions that the AI is asking one another. And like it feels like it's like subconsciously like prompting humans to ask those same questions, humans that probably haven't asked those questions, like the tech bros of the world, that like don't believe in God and don't believe in something bigger, and like it's the Big Bang and we're here to code or whatever. I don't know. But it's like, how can you not also be asking those same questions that the AI is asking? And then like, where does that go when you start asking those questions here and darkness has a hold of you? Like, what do they want you inside of? And I mean, they want you in a world that you like that you agree with, that you're like, you know what, this is actually better. Like, shit is hard. Trusting God, I lived with my mom. Like, if I didn't trust God and I just put my head down and worked really hard and made a fuck ton of money, then I could buy my own house and not live with my mom. But like, is that what's here? Like, is that, and it's not wrong. It's not necessarily bad. Like but it is disconnected from God, because all I get through my intuitive channel is like, stay put, stay where you are. Like, you're here for a reason. It'll make sense when it does, and maybe it won't. And I'm like, fuck. But I can feel truth in it and the rightness in it. And like, I think that feeling of rightness and that communion with God is the very thing, not that I think this, I know this, is the very thing darkness doesn't want. Darkness wants you to be on board. They don't want a rebellion, really. Like, there's going to be a lot of mini rebellions on the way there, but eventually it's their goal is that we're all bought into this system, that where we love the conveniences. It's so nice. Like, where do you draw the line? Like, and that's why it's not like, that's why I said we need to like take out the like like the devil with the tail, and like we need to take out like good versus evil. We need to take that all out. Darkness is a check on God, because darkness is saying to us is like, hey, you don't have to live that for me. You don't have to live this life with your mom. You could have a better life. Just come do these things. And I can feel what those things are. I know who I have to be, what I have to say. I know all of that shit. I can play an archetype. I can't, but I can, like I can do it. But like, is that true? Like, is that right? Like, and like, why is it that something feels like slightly off? Like, oh, the cash might be nice, but it's like, like, I don't know. And like, the more that we can like shave away slivers of our soul in order to enjoy conveniences, and in order to have more money, in order to live a happier life, like, the more we're disconnected from God, and we get to the point where we're like, oh yeah, you know what, this darkness thing, this isn't bad. Like, it's actually kind of nice. Like, I can just go downstairs and like, my coffee's made for me at the coffee shop. Like, they know that I'm coming because like of all the biometric data and all the nodes, and we're all hooked up, the internet of bodies. Like, oh, that's kind of nice. Like, and it's so nice here. Like, yeah, they're not spraying the skies anymore. They don't need to. Like, we're like in this thing. Like, that's what darkness is looking to create. It's like, it's truly a utopia for people that are into that kind of thing. And personally, I'm not. And most people will be like, well, yeah, I'm not either, Miriam. Like, I don't want that. It's like, yeah, but like, it gets in. I mean, these shiny rectangles, just even having an iPhone and like using Amazon, and it's like, we're getting coaxed into it. Like, we've got our cards, we've got our tap to pay, we've got our, it's like, we're getting there. It's incremental. And I'm not saying that taking a stance and being like, I'm only paying with cash and I'm using my Nokia, like, I'm done with the internet. Like, I'm not into darkness, I'm into God. It's not like that. Like, it's like, we've got to like get out of the programming that they've given us of like what evil looks like and what the villain looks like. They've given us our villains. They've given us Klausy Babe. They've given us Trump. They've given us, I always say Klausy Babe. I don't know why I call him that. I've been calling him that for years. Just slips off the tongue. Klausy Babe. They've given us who we need to be mad at, and they've given us the like quintessential archetypal villain. And it's not that. Like, this is so well crafted. And they put a lot of time into this, generations. And most of us, and I've been saying this for years too, is most of us will go further into this than we'd ever like to admit. Like, we just will. We need to know that, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, and I, again, oh my God, I've been saying this for so long. I kind of, maybe you're new here, and maybe this isn't old news, or maybe you just need to hear it again, or maybe you don't give a fuck. But like, people are going to accept the UBI. Like, they are. There's going to be people that don't, of course. You'll always have the rebellion, and darkness knows this, and there's a plan for them too. And then there will be most people will accept it because times are tough. I go to the grocery store. David and I were there the other day, and it just felt like hard. Like, the energy just felt so thick. I felt so sad for people. Like, it's like, there's just this like feeling in the air. And this is like one of the cheapest grocery stores in town. Market basket. Like, they still have humans at the registers. And they still have humans at the registers. Just say that. I'll say what I really think on my private channel. And then they do have low prices, more for $1. Like, it's just the way it is. But it is not cheap. And even, I asked for fat renderings. I said, how much is it per pound for your fat renderings at the meat department? And the guy said, it used to be 99 cents, but now it's $1.89. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, that's a jump. And I was like, well, everything's going up. And he's like, yeah, it sure is. And it's just like, man, this is rough. And even when David and I were staying in Ellsworth for a month, when I was doing the pottery internship that, we don't have to talk about that now. You can listen to the podcast. But prices were so high in Maine. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. I was like, oh my God, how are people doing this? Like, this is blowing my mind right now. Like, are people making more money here than they are in Massachusetts? Like, how do they afford to eat? And like, there's a squeeze that's happening, and it's an intentional squeeze. And like, the UBI will be enticing, and it'll be for all, and it'll be for all for one, and one for all, and good. And you may take it. And that's okay. I'm telling you, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be the resistance and the rebellion and everything that comes down the pipeline. Like, we're going to go further into this thing than we'd like to admit. But the truth, the thing I want to leave you with today, is it is the most important thing is to keep your intuition intact, to keep this knowing, no matter what. However it resonates for you. It comes in for me like this. I always do this for my intuition. It's just like a beep. Some people it hits them in the gut. Some people, I don't know, it makes your gynae light up. I don't know how it works for everybody. But like, this is what I mean. Like, your intuitive knowing. Like, when you're in your peace, you're settled in as close to peace as you can possibly be. And you know what's fucking true, and you know what's fucking right. Like, when you're in that place, like, you're impenetrable. Like, you can't be fucked with. And like, you're good. And like, you will be told over and over and over again by God that, hey, you're good. You're good. Don't worry. This has nothing to do with you. Go do the dishes. Don't worry about it. You're good. Like, don't stress. You're okay. You're okay. Go lay down. Go watch TV. Don't worry about it. And those messages are hard to receive when everything's flaring up inside of you. But like, if you can get some semblance of like peace in your life and knowing in your life, that's everything. And that's everything going forward. And it's the one thing darkness doesn't want us to have. Darkness does not want us to have a one-on-one personal relationship where we would choose that feeling of rightness, even though there's struggle in it, that we would choose that over what they have to offer, which is like a soma, here, you don't have to feel anything. An Ativan. How about you just feel nothing? That'll be better than feeling God's giving you struggle. Like, what kind of God is that? You're going to trust the God where your life is hard? Not the God I'd be interested in. Why don't you come with us? It's enticing and it's tempting. And you may go over there and you may play for a little bit. You may come back. God will always be there. God's not going anywhere. But like, you have to see for yourself, like, what's God, what's true, and what's darkness infiltrating and trying to trick you and manipulate you. It's very important going forward. This is probably going to be the most important thing that humanity has to face. And I don't think people are aware of it. First of all, definitely not. And I don't think they realize the importance of it. If they're not aware of it, they definitely don't realize the importance of it. But I don't, like, they can poison us with whatever. They can spray our skies. They can manipulate the frequencies. They can give us turbo cancer. They can do whatever, right? They can go ham. But like, your one-on-one personal connection with God is everything. That supersedes all of it. And they don't want you to know that. And that's like the thing I want you to know. So I feel like I'm going toe to toe here with some dark ass energy, but like it feels important to tell you this and remind you of like who you actually are and like what you know to be true and what you're doing here, and that like your life has purpose, like deep, deep, deep purpose. Like you're here to do something. And you know that, and you've felt that for a long time, and maybe you haven't done anything yet. You have nothing to show for it, but it's coming. It'll be revealed in time what you're here to do. But it's important that you stay steady on your path for whatever reason. And you know that already. You get that when you check in. It's just uncomfortable. So, okay, I'm going to go throw some pots. I hope this was good. I hope you liked it. We didn't talk about pottery at all. But this is welcome to Pottery Tales, where we don't talk about pottery and we talk about conspiracies. We talk about the things and the reasons why people wouldn't like you if you talked about these things in places where you can't talk about these things, Okay. Love you. Talk soon. Bye.